You are now listening to Cutzradio by NDSC, Bangkok's home for hip hop and R&B.
Yes
สวัสดี
สวัส
ค่ะ
ดีครับคุณผู้ฟังทั้งหลายนะฮะ
วันนี้นะคะ
Yes
เราก็อยู่กับหนึ่ง artist ที่บินมาจากอเมริกาเลย
ใช่
นะคะ
แล้ว
เขามีชื่อว่า Kweku นั่นเองเป็นทั้ง producer แล้วก็ writer นะคะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดี
Hi
ครับ
what's up
Hi what's up
Hey.
Do you are you familiar with the word สวัสดีค่ะ or สวัสดีครับ Yeah that's
Yeah.
fast pick that up in 5 days
My brother put me on.
Oh okay okay
When I was coming
So
out here.
first of all how you pronounce your name man
Kweku.
Kweku
Yeah.
And does that have a special meaning What does that mean
So it's Ghanaian. It's West African. From boy born on Wednesday.
Oh cool
Oh, okay.
Are you born on Wednesday
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
cool I'm a girl born on Wednesday
Alright,
and I use
alright,
Kweku
alright.
too You know the
Alright.
funny thing in Thailand I don't know how it is in Africa or America but every born day in Thailand there's a different color like you have a color so for us Wednesdays
the day.
it's green
Hey, that's crazy. That was my favorite color when
That's
I was
your
a baby.
favorite? Oh, yeah?
Yeah
That's
Okay
cool.
you already feel Thai already
Cool so how has it been how's Thailand treating you right now
Oh my God, I love it out here. It's warm and the people are cool and it's like everything is beautiful. There's butterflies out. There's no butterflies in Chicago right now.
Right
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah and then this is our winter
Yeah this is
This is the
our
coolest
man.
it's getting in Bangkok
Come
so
on now. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, actually, you might think it's funny, but sometimes in the cold season here in Thailand, people be like wearing jackets and like just
I'm
so
getting
we
sick right now.
just we have the experience of like it's winter, but it's nothing for
Yeah.
people.
Y'all gotta come to Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Love to.
I would be too cold in summer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
So
But-
I want to know a little bit about your background. Like, were you born in Chicago? What?
I was born in New York,
Alright,
up,
alright.
upstate New York, not the city.
Okay.
And then when I was like 5, we moved to a suburb of Chicago, like
Yeah.
north. And then I grew up there, and then I like just moved into the city earlier this year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool. So, when did you started with music? When did you start with music, or when did you realize, I want to become a producer, a writer,
Yeah.
or this is gonna be
Because
my career?
I heard you start from the early young age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who was it, put you on?
It was so my dad really put me on to the music.
Right.
Like my mother is a dancer. She that was her major in college.
Cool.
Okay.
And then my father was like at the college he was the leader of the drum troupe.
Okay.
And he would go to Africa and he'd bring drums home and he had a
Right.
store where he would sell all of them. So from the time that I was a baby, there were drums all over the house and he was playing the drums and he was the one that was at home with me while my mom was working.
Right.
So that's all we would do all day was just play drums and
Right.
we play like all these like traditional African, traditional Brazilian, all this stuff. We were doing capoeira together.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
bought with the rhythm
Yeah.
kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So your dad put you on to with the music.
Yeah.
And then you start producing, right?
When was that? When did you start to create your own?
So it was around the time I was like maybe 8.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it happened 2 ways. One, like GarageBand.
Yeah.
You can just drag like 4-bar beat loops into the project, and then you can put the melody lines. So you can just, it's like, it's not really producing. It's more just drag and drop. But that was my first introduction to beat making, and then at the same time, my homie gave me a 4-track recorder. Like a tape recorder.
Right.
And so me and my dad, we would take like a microphone, like a stage microphone, and we'd hang it from a lamp in the house. And then we'd just bring all the drums out and we'd record like these 4-track recordings. So that was kind of like the intersection of, mixing like the electronic, and then
That's
it
cool.
just evolved from there.
So like my guess is that actually because music is such a huge part in your life, right? You
Yeah.
grew up basically it's around your dad's, been doing it.
Yeah.
When did you realize, or when it became clear, like okay, this is what I'm gonna do, like for living, When did you decide? And plus, like I know your parents are musicians, like background. Your mom's a dancer, but did they immediately agree on it, or were they like, "Oh, don't take this road"?
I think for me, so when I was really, really young, it was like, yeah, I want to be a drummer. Like, I would make a living off of being a drummer because I saw my dad doing that.
Right.
So it was like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And then I started skateboarding.
Right.
And I still do that. But when I was really into it, that just took over my life completely. So it was like, I'm going to do the music for fun.
Oh,
and
so
I'm going to be a skateboarder.
Oh, so you want to be once in your life, you want to be pro skateboarder.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I got to a point where I realized, I'm so much better at the music because I was just working on it so much.
Right.
And not really trying to do anything with it that I was just at home working on it so much that
always come back to music kind of thing. Right.
It snuck up on me one day. I was like, I want to skate for fun and I want to do the music as my job. Like,
maybe this is really what I want to do.
Yeah.
And you must be glad that you're taking that road right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, because we talk about it and it probably comes really natural to you and it's like, you kind of like you knew, but a lot of people are actually living their life like not knowing, what their purpose are and trying to find what they want to do. It's not always an easy.
It's not easy because sometimes you want to do what you want to do, but you kind of like have to survive and you have to, not
other
everybody
factors
can
come
be a musician.
It's like, how I'm gonna make money and how I'm gonna pay my rent and like all that. But
I ain't get lucky. Somebody told me that luck is the intersection of preparation and opportunity.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm lucky in that way where when I came out in Chicago, I met the right people who were able to like put me on.
Right.
And the city was really receptive to what I was doing. And especially in the age of like the internet.
Right.
It makes the music so accessible and it leveled the playing field a lot. So yeah, when I came out, and it was like right after high school, things just started picking up to where like a year in, it was like that's my job. It was clear that like I don't. This is how I'm surviving. Without this, I don't really have anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. How would you describe your music for someone that might have never listened to your
because we
song?
listened to it on the way there. It's kind of like a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it's like it's hip hop, but I think it's kind of like new age everything, because the way I see my music is it's pretty much like there's cameras, so if you see me, I just tell people like whatever you think comes out of this form and this figure, like that's pretty much what it is, because it's like I'm mixed. So that's how my music is. My music is a mix of everything. It's like R&B and hip hop. There's some reggae in there, alternative rock. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit of everything.
Right. And given you're a musician, right? And you play drums. Yeah. You playing any other instruments? When you produce, you doing everything yourself.
Yeah, everything. Like on the song E.T., the guitar in there, like that's me. Most of the guitar in my songs is me. A lot of like the really advanced stuff is samples, but yeah, I do all the keys and I play the drums. Sometimes it's recorded on the MPC or the keyboard, but sometimes it's me really in there with the drum kit or with the congas. Yeah. Right.
Oh, nice.
So since you brought up E.T., could you tell us a little bit about the song? Like what is this about?
E.T. is about like. So it's for the last 4 years. I had a job out of high school pretty much. So I went to school and then the music worked out. So it was like, this is what I'm gonna do. This is my full-time job.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of the people around me, a lot of my peers were either going to a different kind of job or going to college. And if you're going to college, that's still like you're still part of a bigger infrastructure. You're still part of like a bigger system. I think we're all part of like a bigger system, but that's neither here nor there. It's like the people. I was really out on my own trying to do this for myself, and that's how I really felt. It was like, all right, I'm gonna make my own lane now. I'm gonna make my own way.
Right.
Not to be on some lone wolf type whatever, but ET is like for the people that are trying to do their own thing. Just knowing that there is somewhere that you can come back to, you know, that like even if you feel alone, chances are, you know, 9.5 times out of 10 you're not really alone. And that's really what I was trying to get to. Like even if your head's in the clouds and you're in outer space or whatever, like you always have like a earth. You know what I mean?
So when you write songs, like how do you go about it? Like do you find a topic to talk about, like for example like ET, or does it just come up and you just go with the flow? Like what's your creating process?
It comes from. It used to be really like formulaic. I would start with drums, and then it would always be with the beat first. But now, I think sometimes it'll be a melody line. I'll play that out, and then the words will come, or it'll be a phrase that pops into my head. And I'll write that down, and make the beat around that. Or it'll be the drums again, and then the words, and then
so it's more like a freestyle now.
Yeah.
What it would come first,
yeah,
right, and then just build on that.
Yeah, and then with the words, it's like sometimes I know what I want to write about because I know like what I'm feeling, and I'm really, if I'm mad and I know what I'm mad about, like I'm just finna write about that. Or if I'm happy, you know, it'll be like that. But a lot of the times it'll just be I really like music that you can relate to at any time for like different reasons. You know, like music you can clean the house to. That's kind of my favorite thing to think about. So I really like moments in songs where it's like I might not even be talking about
Particular thing.
About a particular thing. Like the song could be about something different, and then I slip in something about how like I don't have any clean underwear to wear today or something. Right. It's like it kind of relates, but it doesn't. So I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What is your favorite song right now? What do you
listen to?
What you listen to apart from your songs?
That's such a mean questions. You know when you say like, "What's your favorite song?" Like I don't know. But what would be like? What do you listen to?
Like,
what am I listening to right now?
When you do your thing, like I want to hear this. You know.
Let me slide
when
into
you're
my
cleaning.
Apple Music.
When you're cleaning.
I've been listening to a lot of the new Earl Sweatshirt.
Oh, okay.
I went back into Amy Winehouse's catalog recently.
Oh, okay. Always love to go back there.
She the album Back to Black is crazy.
Amazing. Yeah.
Georgia Smith's album. Right. I like the song December 24th. That's like a perfect song to me. I love Georgia Smith. Let's see what else. Really just like be listening to D'Angelo. Like that's a vibe. The album Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants by Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Wow. So you listen to a lot of genre and a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think of hip hop today?
I think it's like it all comes back to the internet, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. And that's
you have to play a big part now.
Yeah.
Cause like it's cool and it's not because it made it easier for people like me to do
to get your work exposed.
Right. But also like it made it so. Okay, so like. I feel like hip hop for a lot of people, a lot of hip hop music is a window into a world that they would know nothing about. You know what I mean? Like, it's kids that lived in the town that I lived in Evanston, that grew up, you know, a way that's completely different from what these people are rapping about. You know what I mean? And like, and for me too, you know what I mean? Like I ain't grew up in the hood, so that's they broadcasting that life, you know what I mean? And it's just being exposed to that, you know, and like a lot of hip hop is like the black experience. So for the white kids from the suburbs that they don't have black friends, you know, the people in their house aren't black. They don't know nothing about the culture from where we come from. So it's just it the internet really made it, and it's like that for all life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody can get a peek into everybody's lives.
Right.
And even through the veil of the internet, you can see what's going on in all these different places. It just connected the world in such a way that like
True.
the real can shine through, but also the fake can shine through.
Yeah.
It's like
be easier for everybody too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then so what do you think about? Do you on social medias a lot, or you use it as a platform to promote yourself?
Yeah, it's my relationship with social media is I'm not the biggest fan of social media.
Right.
Just because like it's changed so much for me, because now it's like you kind of got to be on social media.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Frank Ocean or something, and you don't have to be. But yeah, like that it's such a skewed. People judge you, and they judge whether or not you're popping or not based on how many followers you got, how many likes your latest post got, and you feel like you're not doing something right if you're not getting the same number of likes as you got on the last picture, or the same number of likes as somebody that you think is on your level. You know, so I don't really like social media that much. I also just think that like people be buried in their phones so damn much.
Yeah.
And that's
you don't even communicate anymore. Right?
Yeah.
You just talk over the apps.
Yeah, it's like it's what you scrolling through Instagram for right now. Like, look
you know, like that's how I actually knew I had a real good time in Wonder Fruit, because I realized that I haven't been much on my phone at all. So I was like, damn, I must have had a good time, because I haven't looked at anything and didn't post that much.
Yeah, this is the way it consumes our life right now, because you know, given like I'm quite a bit old. I'm from the 70s, so I went through the era that pretty much like, you know, we had no cell phones up until now. I have seen like the past 30 years or so, 20 years or so, a lot of things have changed, and a lot of, you know, there's like pro and con for the social media, of course, but like you said, like all the big guys, you know, like Drake, he don't fucking post Instagram pictures. They don't need that kind of stuff. You know, but the new kids, the new generation is kind of like tied on that. You know, it builds a lot of artists. You know, it's like it throws some shade on a lot of artists too. And I think it's like the way the artists using it. You know, like, but lately a lot of people have been using like crazy. Like, okay, like for example, like, you know, right now, like, what the hell you talking about?
Do you
that shit's crazy.
Right?
What you talking about?
Do you feel like people talk about artists like it comes from like what's happening on their social media more than their actual music sometimes? Because I feel like sometimes that's
it's a
the
vibe,
case, no?
You know, that's the buzz around, right? How you promote yourself too, right?
I think that like good art will always speak for itself, and it'll always it'll always be the loudest voice.
Of course.
It's a reason why Kendrick Lamar isn't all over Instagram and Twitter, because every album has been a classic, because he's the voice of a generation. You know what I mean? So he don't need to tweet.
Yeah, he don't need to do that.
But like, and this is no shade, and whatever, like Kanye, like you just said. I don't know. There's other things going on with Kanye West right now that I don't understand or I'm not privy to.
Most of people don't understand. but
it's like I don't know. I don't think he's put out an album on the caliber of Graduation or 808s and Heartbreak, or like his catalog up until Dark Twisted Fantasy, or even Yeezus for that matter. Like I think he's speaking louder than his art right now. His art hasn't said anything as powerful as any of the stuff that he tweets right now.
Totally agree. I actually, like, if we want to talk about that, I actually expected the last album that came out to be really loud, because I thought, like, okay, if you're gonna start talking that much, like, you know, out of your art, that art must come out and back up like whatever you're saying. It just hasn't for me personally.
Well,
so.
now it's getting out of beef, but we don't know. It's just crazy. But that's social media, right? It's just like, sometimes just.
You know,
I'm here for the Drake Kanye beef.
Yeah,
because because man, like Drake is Drake, bro. And I'm a Drake fan, and I'm a Kanye fan too.
But
like,
you want to see how this going, right?
Culturally, Drake's a bully, man.
Right.
He's mean to people.
Right.
Like, cool. Why you mean to Meek Mill, dog?
Right.
Just because he called you out for having writers, you're a pop artist.
Right. Yeah. And then man. And it was like on the Twitter rant, like, oh
That's
shit
crazy.
again.
I read through all of those.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, oh shit, what's going on now? And then Snoop just got getting involved. And
I
like,
love
oh,
following
shit.
Snoop though. I can't even lie.
Snoop be like, oh, okay.
He's very entertaining on social media.
Yeah, I love him, man.
I can't lie about
that. Yeah, let's see how this played out. So, let's talk about your time. This is your first time in Asia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
how has it been so far? Like the experience, like being in Thailand.
It's oh man.
It's hot for once.
Yeah. No, it's real good to get out the cold for sure.
Right.
It's just like I'm not like sometimes I have expectations about certain things, and I think I know what I'm gonna get into, but coming into this, I fully knew that I didn't know what it was gonna be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I don't really know that many Thai people either. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like at home. Right. So nobody was like, this is what you
prepare
like.
you for this.
My brother's been out here, so.
Yeah, but did he tell you anything about this? Like what to expect when you comes out here?
He did tell me a few things.
Didn't get heads up anything? No.
It's just like I feel like this is one of those things where you don't really know unless you know, like unless you're really privy to the culture in your own world, like you're not gonna know. But yeah, it's beautiful out here, and like I was telling you guys earlier, like the people are all so kind.
Right.
Like this woman approached me at the mall the other day.
Right.
And asked to touch my hair.
Right. Oh, like, damn. Right.
Like,
okay.
It's like if you listen to Solange album, she's like, don't touch my hair.
Right.
That's kind of like the MO.
Right.
But she was just so like honest and curious. She
right.
was like, I got the vibe. It was just like I don't know anything about this. I need to experience this.
Right.
This is so cool that you're actually, that you're taking that like openly, not because it might be like a different perception if you're back home, right? Or even in Europe, if someone asks you to touch your hair, you might be a little like what? Yeah. Like, but it's like normal here because they're just curious and.
Well, at least they ask. Not yanking your
hair.
I'm kind of curious. Can I touch that?
Yeah.
You just gotta ask.
I want to talk about something a little, maybe on a serious side, but I'm just a little curious because you're being mixed, and I'm mixed, and he's been kind of all over the place everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Chinese, and I'm a lot of mixed too.
Yeah, and I mean, because you just mentioned before about hip hop like being where it came from, and it has opened up for other cultures to see in. And like, for us, for example, when we interview a lot of Thai kids or like artists that are doing hip hop, and we have to say it's quite new in Thailand still, like compared to like where you're from, right? Hip hop is still like very new. And a lot of young kids when they do music out here hip hop, they don't really know much about the history, and they just like the vibe, and it's more about like the culture, like, oh, I like the way you dress, they like just like the whole vibe of it. They don't really go much deeper, like I'm just saying most of the kids, how is it for you being mixed, doing this genre of music? Do people back home, does it still happen that people might feel like it's more like a black thing, or like do you feel, because for me, like openly saying I'm half Swiss half Thai, sometimes I don't feel like I belong neither. Like if I'm there, if I'm in Switzerland, people look at me as a foreigner. When I'm here, people look at me as a foreigner, but truly I'm both, right? How's it for you?
I think here, okay, so like for me, I feel like as long as you're honest in the art that you make, and as long as you're like honest about yourself as a person, then I think that people will respond to it. Most people will respond, maybe not positively, but they'll recognize the honesty. You know what I mean? I think the issue that a lot of people have, like in the States, and especially with white people coming into hip hop or people that's not from where like the where the culture of hip hop is coming from.
Yeah.
Is the lack of honesty. So
You're
people that get on wax and start lying about shit.
Yeah.
That's where that's flagrant. You know what I mean? And it took me a long time to figure that out because you know kids are impressionable, and kids are gonna do what like kid.
What they see, what they perceive.
Yeah, it's like when you're a kid. There are some kids that know who they are and know their brand and their lane and like all these things off the jump, off top. But like a lot of kids just don't.
Stray still look for the
like
a figure to look up to, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. They're looking for stuff to emulate. I guess like as far as being mixed, I feel you. Like I've never in the neighborhood that I grew up in, there were times when I ain't feel like. Actually, my neighborhood was fine. I felt like I belonged in that neighborhood. There's like in the white part of town.
Yeah.
Right.
I never felt comfortable there. You know.
Right.
It's a little different around like black people because I think just like societally and culturally, like there's still a little bit of like, well, you're not fully like us, but also we understand because it's more common. You know, it's like in the black community. Mixed people are more common and more accepted, but like white people are just like, you're different, you know. So we're either gonna try to change you or we're gonna try to fetishize you. Right. You know what I mean? And then going out like into the rest of the world, sometimes I feel more comfortable in the rest of the world, like in Europe or out here, because people don't look at me with. It's more like curiosity if people look at me. There's never.
Where you from? Like
they
more
would
like
judge,
a curious.
they would judge you from what you look like, right? They
Yeah.
just look at you in the different ways.
Yeah.
Not judging or imitating you, but But I think that's the part of Thailand that I and most of the Asia that I like, that people don't judge you because I think Thailand is very open because like we have like a Muslim and live with amongst the Buddhists and you carry the same communities, and then we also have like people with different race and then even different genders. In Thailand it's openly like gay are openly accepted here. So kind of like
well I would think so. I'm sure there are people that would disagree
Thailand
and say
like very open.
I'm just bringing this topic up like weirdly just because I feel like I hope that people that watch this also like see a different perception like when you live here, because to me, to be honest, I was never familiar with the word racism where I grew up, until like of course like my husband is American, so he kind of like explained, and he's a mix too. He's Puerto Rican American, so he would explain to me how it is back home, So and because I like hip hop and I'm into this culture, I kind of got to know that part, and I always find it very interesting in like when someone like you comes up and you're in this culture, how you experience, because I might say something that would appear as racist or because I'm not born and raised in that kind of culture, so I always feel like it's such a important topic, of course, to talk about, but also very touchy, right? But I think people should be able to talk about it more and more. It becomes normal because, like I said, like it's okay. Like people, guess all the time where I'm from. I don't look Thai. I think not so Asian.
Me too. They always think I'm Japanese, man.
Right? And with me, it's like, are you Latina? Are you Brazil? Are you like? And I'm not anywhere from there at all. Yeah. But it's just like people, and I don't feel like it's a bad thing because I just really I look like that, and it's cool to, and it's also important to feel like even if you're not American or you're not black, you're whatever, that you're allowed to be exposed to that genre of music and you're allowed to do whatever you like, because some people might feel like, like I'm not, I don't dress the part, I don't like it. They put themselves in such a box, and I think it's cool that you're being mixed and you're setting an example for also young kids and new generation to see that you just be yourself and you do, because your music is unique and it's your own. It's not it's not like it doesn't have to be like anyone else, and it's okay. We evolve, music has changed, and hip hop is not where it was many years ago, right?
Of course it's changing.
It's like so. I went to Europe.
Yeah.
The first time I went was like 2 years ago now,
Right.
and I was traveling with 2 other black people and a white dude. So
Right.
the majority of the group that we was with was black.
Right.
And we're walking through the train station in like Holland or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's white people as far as the eye can see. And one of the we needed help trying to find our turnstile.
Yeah.
So we flag somebody down. He starts helping us out. And he's obviously we stick out. You know, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, I had like braids in, skinny jeans, big boots. One of the other dudes is tall as the day is long. And real dark. Like everybody looked cool. We also looked like we didn't belong. We hella stuck out.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What do you guys do?" The dude helping us.
Yeah.
Man, I worked at the train station. What do you do? We're like, "Oh, we're rappers. You know, we're on tour right now. We got DJ, rapper, photographer, manager." He's like, "Oh, rap? Oh my God, I love rap." And this is a white dude, mind you. So he's like, "I love rap. You know, da 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 da.
Yeah.
This. Niggas with attitude."
Yeah.
And we all stopped. And we looked at each other like, because the gut reaction is if you see a person with white skin, if they say nigga,
Yeah.
then it's a fight. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But then we all thought to ourselves, like, we're not in America right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Exactly.
They don't, there was no, the culture, like the history
Exactly.
of this word, maybe didn't make it to this, so he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
So then we just like had to explain to him like real calmly and real cool, like, "Hey dude, like, look, you don't know this, and there's probably no way for you. There's ways for you to know this, but like it's fine.
Yeah.
But like that's not something that you should say. You know, like where we're from, where this word comes from. Like white people don't say that word. They should not say that word. So like be careful. You know what I mean? Don't say that. To
if you don't
people that
talk
look
to
like
us and you talk to somebody else, it might came out different.
If it wasn't us, you might have had a situation. And he was instantly like so apologetic and so gracious for us for the information. He's like, "I'm so sorry." Da da da. So that's really what I've noticed out here. Is it's more of like the curiosity, and people aren't privy to like the culture. And the racial history of America like that.
Yeah, you don't have to live that life. That's why sometimes like do songs, you know, that you can relate it to out here, you know. Because like here, like, you know, we're not about gangsters like
That's what I'm saying. Like
not many people have been dealing drugs in the corner. I can name somebody that did that, but not everybody. But yeah, I mean, you know, as far as like killing and like, you know, just talk about the topic that relate to us.
You
know, because like, you know, I was like exposed to hip hop music since the 90s. You know, from the Tribe Called Quest, and you know, it's been, you know, been doing parties since the 90s. You know, see a lot of changes now, and especially the last couple of years, that's emerged a new, a new type of rapper in Thailand too. You know, before, because it was just us, the old school guys. Now it's
Titanium,
like,
they're like,
you know, Titanium, Joey Boy, and a couple of other guys, and now, like, you know, we have like 2 TV shows last year that becomes household names, like, you know, get
kind of exposed hip hop.
I mean, like, you know, got my friend who doesn't even know anything about hip hop talking about it. You know, I was like, oh shit, all right. Yeah, you listen to the guy what he said on the show, like, you listen to that fucking show? You never fucking listen to any fucking hip hop song. You know? Like, oh yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's good for the culture here right now. It's popping. So, do you have any message to kind of like tell all the kids that coming up? Because there's actually a lot. At your age, because they come in, they're young now. There's like 20, it's like, you know, 18, 20 right now.
All the hip hop artists in Thailand right now, like the newcomers, are like literally like young, like younger than you even. You know, they start up and.
But since you stay on your lane, you have your style. Like, you have anything to you know,
what would be your advice?
To like
younger generations right now that, you know, are really like are out here.
Yeah.
Like, and we have to
In
really say,
general.
like, for them, it's a faraway world,
Yeah.
and they just in love with the music,
But
but
just
might not know
how-
much about the culture.
Yeah, how to, you know, because I think a lot of them want to be, but they don't know how, and they lack of focus, how to stay focused, you know. So you give like, you know, advice and motivation or something like that, how to, you know.
I think, well, first of all, I think that, you know, at least speaking to like the hip hop is touching the farthest corners of the globe right
Yes.
Yeah.
now. And so
Everywhere,
many
man.
people are doing
Everywhere,
it.
man.
That's what I find so beautiful about music, like, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When Bob Marley came out, it was instantly, and not instantly, but like international. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it resonated with everybody, like the Beatles, you know what I mean?
Yep.
You know, Drake, Kendrick, like
Yeah.
music, period,
Yeah.
is universal.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it's there's always gonna be something for everybody, and everybody can find a piece of themselves in music. And to me, that's just the most beautiful thing. You know, that's why, like, I'll never love anything the way that I love music, and not that I love music more than different stuff. It's just
Yeah.
like that's a kind of love that like nothing will ever touch.
Yeah.
That's like deep in my soul. So I guess my advice for people, and it definitely like kids coming up in music, and really just like kids, period, is, you know, keep your eyes open, absorb information, listen to as much music as you can. Like any way that you have to access music. You know, when I was a kid, like when I didn't have an iPod or anything, like my mom worked at a bookstore. So I go to the bookstore and I just be in the CD section, listening, scanning the CDs into the little headphone thing, and listening to the 30-second snippets, and that's all I would do for hours. You know what I mean? Like I was reading books about music. You know what I mean? I'm at the library checking out CDs, cassettes, and then I eventually did get like an MP3 player, a little iPod, and just like day in, day out. You know what I mean? Like that's how I communicate. You know what I mean? Music is literally my everything. So like if that's what you want to do, you got to study. You know what I mean? I'm a student of this first and foremost. You know what I mean? I'll never be the master at this. You know, like my father is coming on 70 and he plays drums. And he tells me all the time, he's like, I'm always getting better. I've been doing this for 40 plus years. And I'm not at the top of my game.
Yeah, you can always improve.
Exactly. There's always something that you can improve on. There's always work to do. But as far as just like living and being in this music, and if that's what you want to do, be yourself, you know what I mean, and try to find out what that is. You know, you really got to be like in touch and hearing and in your head and in your heart with yourself, with the people around you, with the environment that you're in. That's where the real honest art comes from. Also, just like you got to be in touch with your swag. You know what I mean? Like you gotta know what looks good on your body. You gotta know how your body responds to the environment that you're in. You know what I mean? You gotta think about life like chess. You know, this shit ain't checkers. You know what I mean? There's so many moving pieces right now. I think lastly, identifying your OGs, identifying the people that came before you, identifying the people that paved the way
I think
for
that's
you.
one of the most important
That's
things.
that's so important because we're in a time right
you
now.
gotta know the
where-
roots.
Exactly, you got to know.
But I like
the
what you're
roots.
saying because you're saying identifying. That means just know.
Yeah.
But don't necessarily copy or try. Some I feel like sometimes we get confused, right? We have our idols and stuff, and then we try to reach what they've reached, but it's not necessarily that. We just have to identify where they come from, know who they are, and you know, love them, but find
How
our own
dedicated they are,
voice.
You know,
Yeah, like it's one thing to be influenced by people. Like I got influences of the wazoo. You know what I mean? Like my whole life, I've been, like I said, I've been studying this. So in my studies, you know, like professors and shit, like they studied people before them, and so what they teach is directly influenced by. But the ones that really stick out, the teachers that really teach profound lessons to people, the teachers that really stick, the lessons that really stick are the ones that are new. You know what I mean? And they're built on top of building blocks that other people have stacked on top of one another.
Right.
But then like they put their own block, and it's still made out of the same material that the whole thing is made out of, or they just switched up the whole formula. But like this is roots.
You have the foundations.
Exactly. You got to know your roots.
Right. You got to know your roots.
You know what I mean? It's like, what's the quote? It's like something about knowing yourself. There's no self if you don't know yourself, but if you know yourself, you know what I mean? So
that thing. Yeah, because like I found out a lot, like, you know, the other day, right, at my shop, I was playing EPMD or some Wu-Tang or something, and the kids, like, you know, just come on college getting tattooed, like, yo, can I hear some hip hop? I was like, this is not hip hop. What is your hip hop? You know, so I think, like, you know, even nowadays, like, you know, little, like in America, I'm like, oh, Tupac is barring, you know.
That's
I mean,
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like, yo,
that's
man, like,
right
dude,
there.
man, have you listened to any of this shit? Like, I mean, that's exactly the thing that, you know, you gotta know the route to move forward.
Yes.
You gotta know who to come before you.
Yeah.
You know, so
to
you have the foundation. So
and
then you have a strong, you know, firm knowledge on the roots. Then, you know, you can move forward. Otherwise, you have standing on the, like, you know, whatever belief you like. Man, it's like, yo, if you like that's not hip hop, like Wu-Tang, like can't play hip hop. Oh, come on, man. There's like, yo, what's wrong with this? But yeah, that's established the problem. Like, you know, the kids used to need to know.
Yeah.
So you can be the future of this.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So the last piece of advice really is just like in my music.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up playing traditional African drums, right? And I understand that my family is descended from West Africa.
Yeah.
So that's really the rhythm of like where we come from. And then I applied that directly into my music. For kids trying to make music, like there's beauty in everybody's life.
Yeah.
In the story of your life, there is always like a flower that you can pick up and plant in the garden of artists. So, you know, for the kids growing up in Thailand that want to make hip hop, like pull out of your life, you know, pull the sounds, pull the sights, pull the experiences that you had out of your life, and mix it, you know what I mean? Stir that pot, add your own flavors, you know, because that's what Wu-Tang did, you know what I mean? That's what Tupac did. That's what the Beatles did. It's like you gotta switch up the formula.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of kids, like, you know, they talk about the struggle, just what I like, you know, their environment, how they growing up, you know. So they did represent.
I think that's a very good piece of advice that you just said, because you're as an artist from the U.S., that's probably what you would like to hear from the artists over here, right? You would probably want to hear that, like, where you from, like what's your story, and like some sort of a Thai influence in there, you know?
Right.
That's definitely important.
Yeah, I think Thai hip hop gains a lot. Like even a couple months ago, it was like a big news, man. And there was like this group called Rap Against Dictator. Basically the content was like, you know, rebel and, you know, nothing short of like, you know, fuck the police kind of thing. And then it was like, the shit that happening to the NWA in the States. They be like, yo, you can't play this song. You know, this song is like, you know, giving a bad look. And then they try, like, you know, they go on the press and they want to arrest all these kids. Yeah. And then it was like, dude, man, people like, yo, if you do all that, everything they say in the song is real, huh? So they kind of like have to, you know, back down of that. I think it stirs a lot of conscience, you know, in this country. Even I think the Sauce, you know, was picking it up too. They playing it on the website, and I think that's, you know, hip hop in Thailand is going somewhere. So I think it's good that the kids now know the foundations.
Exactly.
You know the roots, and then I think this kid is, you know, they basically they use it in a way to, like, you know, to to convey some message.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what's really
Yeah,
is
that's
about,
what about
right?
hip-hop,
That's
you know.
what hip hop is. Yeah.
That's what music is.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
Period.
Even like,
But this is really loud. This is the first
Yeah.
time the police like, yo, man, you can play that song.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit, we get to NWA levels. Yeah, man. You know.
that's disruption right
Yeah.
there. That's really the name of the game. You know?
Yeah.
Like
Cool.
I said, you gotta switch up the formula.
Yeah, because that was they talking about the struggle of the country. They talked about the what we have right now, the government.
Yeah.
How the kids now see the world, how they're growing up. You know, which is I think that's the element. And then you know,
Yeah.
those kids know.
Hopefully see more of that.
Yes.
All right. It was such a pleasure having you here, and
Yes.
we're so glad we got to exchange some of you know our culture and talk
Yeah,
about that and where your
right.
music comes from. We'll definitely be hearing a lot more from you. You know,
Yes.
we're gonna play ET, and when is your next album coming out, or you have any plans? Because now you just last year, right? You released Gray.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah,
latest
last
album.
year.
Yeah. So the next one should be coming out next year.
Next
The
year.
album, full album.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Full length album.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm shooting for 2020 for the full length album.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'll be dropping videos and EPs and songs and stuff. So I'm working on it. You know what I mean? But
So
it's
for the
gonna-
fans, where could they you know stay tuned to what's going on with you, or when are your next artists coming out? What's the best way to follow?
You know, for all the shit that I was talking about social media.
Yeah, but that's
there was
of course.
You know, Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah.
I gotta update my Facebook more often so I
Right,
can do
right,
that.
right.
You know, just like keep refreshing my SoundCloud, all the platforms where you listen to music. You know,
Okay.
iTunes.
Yeah, I was just listening to your stuff on
Spotify.
Tidal.
Tidal.
It's on Tidal.
Shout out
right?
Tidal. Shout out Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out Beyonce real quick.
Yeah. Woo woo,
Yes.
that's my mom. That's what I always
Right,
say.
right.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, thank you so much for being
Of
here.
course.
Really, we would love to have you back
Hopefully, I get to see you next year at the
True.
Wonderful.
I'd
again.
love to come back.
After the next year, he needs to be on an Asia tour soon.
Oh yeah,
Alright,
do
alright.
Asia tour.
Yeah.
We heard you. Did you see Southside? Or no, your brother just saw Southside, right? Yeah. Hopefully, maybe you know
You
there's
can
a
collabo. Not
yeah
in the like,
titanium. Or maybe you see a show
Titanium,
together
yeah.
or something.
Because you already talked to Khan.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
he a mad dope producers, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course. And we love seeing creative people around. We
Yes.
love having you here. And hopefully we get to welcome you back again, you know, maybe
Yes.
when you have your new album.
True.
You know.
Yes,
True.
yes.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Alright.
For
It's
real.
a pleasure. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kweku Collins. Thank
Hey.
you for your time.
You're now listening to Cutzradio by NBSC, Bangkok's home for hip hop and R&B.